Welcome back to the channel, guys, and in today's video I'm going to talk a little bit about buying used kayaks. Specifically, this is a cautionary tale if you're in the market for a used kayak. So recently I have been online and I've been looking for a used kayak. I ended up picking up this Jackson Coosa here. I was looking for kind of a matching one to the one that I already had because I want one for my wife so that she can go out on the creek with me. And I found this one. It was a great deal. Looked it over, went through like a full inspection before I bought it. Everything was solid on it. But if you're wondering more about the specifics of the things to look for, I did another video on that, which I will link in the YouTube card, and then I'll also link at the end of this video. So just stay tuned through the whole video, and at the end you can click on that link there. But I picked up this kayak. So while I was looking for this kayak though, I noticed a lot of different ads on Facebook Marketplace, and I was also looking at other kayaks, specifically looking at like Hobies and other stuff, because there's a thought in the back of my head that I kind of would like to have a bigger kayak again. And the reason why is because I'd like to have a big kayak to go out like on the river, on like the bigger streams, not the really tiny water like these ones, because I'll take these ones out and drag them all over the place. These are built like a rock. Especially these older Jackson Coosa kayaks, they're solid kayaks. But I've been looking at other kayaks too, and while I was looking, I've noticed one is that it seems like a lot of kayak manufacturers over the past couple of years seem to be cutting a little bit of corners. I don't know if they're using less plastic, but as I've done my research, I found that some of the newer models of things like the Hobie Outback have a lot of problems with like cracks on them. Specifically cracks around where the seat base is, and that's on the Pro Angler also, and then also cracks in the scupper holes. And the problem with this crack in a scupper hole, which is like what these little holes are called here if you aren't familiar with kayaks, is they're extremely hard to repair. And I actually noticed a kayak while I was going through pictures that had some photos that you could see where these appeared to be cracked. And the problem is a lot of people try to hide that stuff when they're trying to offload a kayak, because unfortunately not everybody is honest. Some people want to get rid of a problem kayak that they maybe are having issues with so they can buy a new one. And the problem comes in that a lot of manufacturers have different statements with regard to their warranty. So depending on each kayak manufacturer, it's different. You just want to educate yourself, but a lot of times like a warranty is non-transferable, so that if you're buying a used kayak, you really want to see if that kayak has a warranty, especially against hull defects and things like that, because, you know, like I said before, these are just big hunks of plastic, and you can get stuck with a big hunk of useless plastic if it's leaking, and nobody wants to have a dangerous kayak that's leaking and you don't feel safe going on the water with. And especially if you're in the market for one of these pedal drive kayaks, you might see something online that looks like a good deal that really isn't. I've seen a bunch of the Hobie 360 drives that are kind of the older models, and if you do your research, you realize that a lot of these older drives actually have had a bunch of issues. And, you know, like, it's just, you really want to be sure that if something goes wrong with something that's that technical, that you're going to get support from the manufacturer. And a lot of times you're probably going to be stuck and end up, you might save $1,500 on buying a used kayak, but then you end up having to reuse that same money that you saved just to buy a whole new drive to put in your kayak, which you just negated all the savings that you had. So whenever you're looking at the used kayak marketplace, guys, just make sure that you're educating yourself. Do research. If you're looking at a specific model, look that model up, look up problems with it or anything, especially like you can find them in forums. Sometimes you can find YouTube videos on them, and sometimes you can get on Reddit and find things about people posting about problems with kayaks, but just make sure that you don't think that you're saving money by getting a used kayak just to get screwed over in the end, because especially with these really expensive pedal drive kayaks, and a lot of times you're going to want to have dealer support to help you in case you have a warranty issue or a problem with the kayak. And the only way that you get that is by buying through a good dealer when you buy your kayak. So if y'all have any questions, feel free to comment down below and I'll try to get to them as soon as possible, whether I answer them on there or I make a video. But as always, guys, appreciate you guys watching. And don't forget, get outside, do something awesome, and take somebody with you if you get a chance. And I'll see you in the next one.